Okay. Hi, I'm Muriel, and today I will be doing my informative speech on hypertension. So let me start sharing my screen. Okay. So I'm doing this right this time. All right. Okay, let's see. Right, so I'm going to set that. Okay, let's get started. Hoping you're right. All right, so this is the cardiovascular system. This is my presentation on cardiovascular health and hypertension. So, have you ever walked up a flight of steps and thought to yourself, oh my goodness, I'm exhausted, it's time to get into the gym? Well, maybe that's a sign that your cardiovascular system is not as healthy as you think it is. So I have taken many human anatomy physiology courses from now that I'm in college, all the way back to high school. I'm also 2 times BLS certified, so basic life support. So I know how to do CPR, which is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. And I've had to have background knowledge on the cardiovascular system just so I know what exactly is going on in the event of a cardiovascular event, such as a heart attack, stroke, cardiac arrest, anything like that. So I have a photo of the cardiovascular system right here. As you can see, it's very extensive. There's the heart, there's the lungs, there's just a lot of veins, there's a lot of things going on. So cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death for millions of Americans each year, and hypertension, which is sometimes called the silent killer, is one of the reasons why. And like I said before, it's such an extensive system, so it's very easy for things to go wrong. So today I will be explaining what the cardiovascular system is, why cardiovascular health is so important, hypertension, the risk factors of hypertension, and how to stay healthy. I know, sounds like a lot. Okay, so my first point is, what is the cardiovascular system and why it's important for our overall health? So the cardiovascular system does a lot of things. The main, function is to just supply our bodies with the necessary oxygen, nutrients, and hormones that are necessary for bodily processes. And examples of these bodily processes are maintaining our blood pressure, our body temperature, our blood sugar, and then labor. So it does a lot of important things, a lot of things that we need to survive. And it's important for our overall health because without it properly functioning, our bodies aren't able to complete these bodily processes that we need daily. So it's very important. Okay, next slide. So what is hypertension and what are the risk factors? So let's first go over what hypertension is. So hypertension is, what blood pressure is. So blood pressure is, according to Understanding Hypertension, and you can find this on page 7, blood pressure is the force of circulating blood against the inner walls of the blood vessels. And let's go over hypertension. And essentially, hypertension is just when blood pressure isn't in the right normal ranges and it's a little bit too high, and that's when it starts to get concerning. And as you can see on the left side, you can see the ranges. So it goes from healthy all the way down to hypertension crisis. That's when it's very, very dangerous and a very life-threatening condition. And so hypertension is essentially when your blood pressure is too high, and then that comes to complications that we'll see on the next slide. And it's important to know what risk factors are so you know how to manage your blood pressure and see if you are, if you do have any of these risk factors, so you know to talk to your physician, your healthcare professional, and make sure that you're on the right track. So according to the CDC, some of the risk factors are salt consumption, race, so Black or African Americans are more likely to have high blood pressure or hypertension. And then there is increased alcohol consumption, an unhealthy diet, and then there's also some risk factors that aren't included on the CDC page that are listed in the photo on the right. So there's aging, so when you get older, your chance of having hypertension increases. There's diabetes, which ties into an unhealthy diet. And then men are more likely to also have hypertension. Okay. So what are the, and then also let's go back to that other slide. And so I don't think I can go back, but for race, you can find more information on the racial disparities that Black and African Americans have a higher tendency to have hypertension, and you can find more information if you search up according to racial disparities. And this is written by Burkholder and a lot of other authors. You can find that listed there too. So what does this mean for your health if you have prehypertension or hypertension? So as you can see, there are some implications about, of having hypertension. Like I said, it can be a very serious thing, especially when you get to having a hypertension crisis. So implications of having hypertension are, as you can see in the photo as well, there's an increased chance of having a stroke, having a heart attack. There's also the risk of kidney damage. All of these are very, very serious and very detrimental to being a healthy human, which is why it's so important to make sure that your blood pressure is in the right range, 120/80, and talking to your health professional if you realize that you do have some of these risk factors of hypertension. So how can you stay healthy if you have been diagnosed with hypertension or prehypertension, or you just want to make sure, you take care of your blood pressure? So you can eat a healthy diet, make sure you're maintaining a weight that's good for your body. Exercising is important. That also ties into, the diet and making sure that you're a good, healthy weight. Watching your salt consumption is very, very important. There have been studies that show that having too much salt in your diet can, lead to having hypertension. So making sure that you're not eating too much salt and having a very high salty diet is also very important to making sure that you're having a good, healthy blood pressure range or rating, or lowering your high blood pressure if you have been diagnosed with prehypertension or hypertension. All right, let's see. So now that you know what the cardiovascular system is and the importance of keeping now you know what the cardiovascular system is and hypertension is, just make sure that you're doing all the important things. And also young people can develop hypertension and other cardiovascular diseases, so make sure that you're taking care of your body. And this is from the CDC, and they're a very big health group in the US, so make sure you're following that. But that's it. Thank you so much for listening. All right. And that is it.